For today, our topic is writing reports, technical reports. Let me share the screen for the same. Now, remember, as I have always been talking about workplace scenarios, in a workplace situation, written documentation is really important. And one of the important documents that we need to write is a report. So, what are reports? Report, telling things again. Okay, whatever has happened in the past, you try and draft it in the form of a written document so that it can help you lay a foundation for the further information in the future. Now let's look at it in a technical kind of a way. So what is a report? A report is actually a description of an event. Remember, we have done technical description. Now, what is technical description? It is actually the description of a process or a product. Now, what if there is an event? So the description of an event is actually, when it is noted, it is called as a report. Now, reports don't only just note the description, they also have an analytical approach towards the event. They also analyze it. Technical reports are formal in nature, and remember, they are always written for a specific audience and a specific purpose. So this is characteristic is common in each kind of formal documentation, that they are formal in nature and they are also written for a specific audience and a specific purpose. Now in a report, what happens is things are dealt with in little detailing. And the report would also include recommendations and conclusions. The report should also include recommendations and conclusions. Remember, every organization, whenever it is established, it has a vision of sustaining in the market for a longer period of time. So how can an organization sustain for a longer duration of time? It can sustain for a longer duration of time if it wants, or if it has a scope of improvisation. If and when it has scope and the potential to improvise. So how do you improvise? You improvise with the help of feedback. So conclusions, you conclude the event, and recommendations, you give a little feedback of improvisation, places where the organization can improvise. So objectives of a report. Remember, always I have been saying that when it is a workplace situation, we should always know the why part. Why are we writing the report? What is the objective of the report? Right? So what are the different objectives? Depending on the objective, the report will change. So let's say if you wish to present a record of an accomplished work, if that is the objective of the report, then it is a project report. You all might have had an experience of giving a project report for the projects that you do in your uh, technical sessions. You might have some project work that you might have done in the previous semester and the report that you might have prepared. So when you want to tell them that this is what we have achieved throughout the experimentation that we did in the entire semester, and you present it to someone, it is known as a project report. Next, when you record an experiment, it is actually a laboratory research report that you have. Such kind of reports you might have seen or you might have heard of when you go for your blood tests. Okay. Next, reports that record research findings or technical specifications. These are reports on a new product. So what kind of technical changes you have made, how is your product different from the many products that are available in the market, things like that are recorded in such kind of reports. Then to document schedules, timetables and milestones, such kind of reports are written and maintained to have a close look at the progress of an organization or a company where you have long term goals to achieve. This is when this kind of reports come handy. Then you remember you might have been a part of an inspection that came to your school or your college, you know. So at that time, the reports that are written to record the current situation or the contemporary scenario, they are termed as inspection reports. Now, when you make a company, when you establish an organization, you have certain set of rules and policies. These rules and policies that you have in your organization can be termed as the policies and procedures that your company will follow. And in case of such kind of reports, this kind of reports are used for future references, right? So that they can know that at that time they made such a, let's say we'll take the current example. Right now the situation is of a pandemic. Many companies and many organizations have changed their policies. Many companies and many organizations have changed their policies. Now this will be in record till the company is there. Why should they record such a thing? Let's say they record this decision that was taken during a pandemic. Now why should they be recording such things? They are recording it for future reference. In case in the future any other pandemic comes, how do you save your company from it, or how do you work with the pandemic, right? How do you work to achieve maximum with the pandemic also going on? So this kind of a report would help the future generation in case there are some problems in the future as well. Sorry for that. Next, you have annual reports. These reports are those bank reports you might be getting at your home, your parents might be getting, wherein they talk about things annually on a annual scale. It is every year they give you a report of how many accounts were opened, how many various branches did this company open, what were the revenues, what kind of progresses, uh, let's say profits and losses that this company made or incurred, etc. Then you can also have a report based on the various departments of an organization. If it's a huge organization, you cannot have one single piece of report, you need to have many reports. So this is how you work on it. Next, you might also have a report on improving certain problems that are occurring on a level in your organization. That would be called a recommendatory report. So here we have our first reconnecting question. Reports are informal in nature. Are they? You may type your answers in the chat box. Excellent, Gaurav. Quick and correct answer. Reports are never informal in nature. Remember, any documentation which is, please note it down somewhere. If you are not able to recollect information, note it down somewhere that any documentation that is related to a workplace situation, any documentation that is related to a workplace situation is never informal in nature. It is always highly formal in nature. It will always have a structure. It is always going to be for a specific audience. It will always have a specific purpose or a specific objective in mind when they write the recommendation, when they write any document related to workplace scenarios or workplace situations. Please remember this, note it down. It's a very important question from the exam point of view. whether the exam is of MCQ nature or of long question answer nature that we have been following since time known to us. Right, please remember this important information. Reports are always formal in nature, not informal. The characteristics of a good report. How do you find that the report is good? First thing, remember the report is not written for the person who is writing it, but a report is written for the audience, a specific uh, audience it is written. So when can we say that the report is a good report? We can say that the report is a good report when it is reader friendly. Let me give you a very simple example over here. When somebody says that you are supposed to do a presentation, the first thing that we think of is PowerPoint. There are many other applications that help you do presentation similar to PowerPoint. But why do we remember PowerPoint all the time? We remember PowerPoint all the time. The only reason is we remember PowerPoint for the only reason that it is user friendly. We remember PowerPoint because PowerPoint is more user friendly. Similarly, your report, if it is a good report, it should be reader friendly. It should be oriented, keeping the it should be written keeping the audience in mind, because it is for them only that we are writing the report. We are not writing the report for ourselves. Okay, that's why this thing should be kept in mind, and should be clearly kept in mind that the report should be user friendly. Second, these are the questions that you can keep in mind so that you have an idea whether the report is reader friendly or not. The first thing that you should try to know who is going to read the question, who's going to read the report. Next, you should have a look at what are the information or what are the things that they need to know. Third, you should look into it that why do they need to know these details? Are they the users? Are they going to use the product? Are they the person who's going to recommend and tell us how to make the product better, etc.? The reason why the potential people need to know the report or the information in the report. Next, what level of details or detailing are required for that particular audience? How much details do you require to tell them? That also you should know. The reason being, not everybody needs to know each and every point of the information that is provided there. So decide the level of information that is required with that particular kind of audience that you have. And you don't tell everything to everybody beforehand. So you also need to know when the audience requires to know the information that you want to tell them. The very first thing that you need to do when you are writing a report is defining the purpose. As I said, when you are traveling, you should know the destination. The very first thing that you should know is your destination, right? The very first thing that a person should know, he or she, whoever is traveling, they should know the destination. Why do you want to know the destination? You should know the destination because you should know where you are traveling to, the purpose part. Similarly, the purpose should be made clear in case of the audience as well, right? When do they need to know, what do they need to know, why are they supposed to know, are the questions that help you make the purpose more clear. Are you writing this report for some recommendation? Are you writing the report for improvisation? What are you trying to do? Make a purpose, clarify a purpose is what is recommended in this case, right? it actually a report. One of the other characteristics of a report is to present facts and figures. Facts and figures. You need to talk about factual information. Why? Because many important decisions would be uh, taking place, or many important decisions would be taking or would be taken keeping in mind your report. So remember, wrong information would lead to a wrong decision, which would ultimately lead to some disaster in the organization. It's your moral duty to see to it that the organization does not suffer from any kind of disasters. Then reliability and relevance. Remember, as I already mentioned, that many important decisions would be taken based on your report. So please, we should make sure that the report has factual information. Any information that is misleading, would lead to a disaster and could be dangerous to the organization. Long reports are not appreciated in workplace documents need to be brief and to the point, and that is why you should keep the report short and simple. Short reports are what are appreciated in workplace scenarios and workplace situations. So make sure that your report that you are writing or noting should be short and to the point. It should not be lengthy, should not be using decorative language. By decorative language, we mean language of poems, novels, fiction that we read. Okay, you might have come across such things. You're not supposed to just explain and keep on explaining things. Here, you're supposed to be to the point, be on mark about the things that have been discussed in the report. Adequate language. Your language should be appropriate as per the need of the report. Let's say you are writing a report on a new software that your company has developed. Now here you cannot keep on talking about how software is important. You need to move along with the lines of what kind of softwares are available in the market, how your company has made a different kind of a software, etc. Right? Moreover, when we say appropriate language, we mean to say not only appropriateness in the usage of words, but appropriateness in constructing sentences, uh, correctness in grammar, correctness in spellings, etc. should be taken care of. The small things should be taken care of so that the report which you make does not create a confusion in the mind of the reader or the person to whom you submit the report. It should become clear to the person. Towards the end of the report, a person should gain clarity. It should be organized well enough. The structuring, the heading, wherever it is necessary, should be written so that it is easier for people who read the report to locate the information. There are two types of report: descriptive reports and analytical reports. Reports that describe an event are known as descriptive reports, but reports that have an analysis and help to take decisions about an event are known as analytical reports. Formats of a report. Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. There are four different formats. There are four different formats of writing a report. The manuscript format. This is the most commonly used format for writing a report, and it is used almost in each and every organization. This kind of reports, manuscript kind of reports, are quite lengthy in nature, and almost every type of a report can be called a manuscript kind of report. Next, we have a memorandum format, or it is also shortly known as a memo format. The memo format kind of a report is meant for a permanent record of an internal organization. Let's say these are a few shorter type of a report that is written. And remember, please remember, this information is really important. The memorandum kind of a report is written on the letterhead. The memorandum kind of report is written on the letterhead of a company or an organization. It is written on the letterhead. Remember, while we were writing letters, or we are talking about letter writing, we have talked about this thing, letterheads. I hope you recollect the information over here. Fine, I take this as you have recollected the information. Or you remember what I'm talking about, is what I'll assume. Right. Next, you have a letter format for a report to be written. Thank you for replying. So letter format, it's similar to the way we write letters. It would include different things, different structures. Letter reports or letter kind of reports are used. Letter kind of reports are used in the case where you need to send a report outside your organization as well, where you need to also include footnotes, headings, etc. Then you have a reprinted kind of a report or the format of a report. This kind of reports are usually used for this kind of reports are usually used where you have annual reporting system and just have to change the information and the format remains same. Every organization would have its annual reports. So please mark this as an important question from the examination point of view. Please mark this as an important question from the examination point of view. The different formats of report writing, and as I have mentioned, in our case we'll be using the memorandum format and the letter format only, but we need to know all the four. So dash is written on the letterhead of an organization, a letter report or a memorandum format of a report. I hope you remember, I asked you to just mark this as important information. Hope you remember this. Excellent, you have remembered the information and it's a memo format, right? I'll quickly take you back to the previous slide so that you can have a look. Here it is written, memorandum or memo type of format is written on the letterhead of an organization. Right, so the correct answer over here is memo. Now we are following the only two formats, letter format and memo format in the examination. When you are asked to write a report, you have to either use memo format or you have to use the letter format as per the requirement. This is a sample of a letter format. As you see, things are aligned to the left. Remember, we have been working on writing letters and this is how they are written. To the left, everything aligned to the side of the margin or aligned to the left side. Next, this is a sample of the memo format of the report. This is a sample of the memo format of the report. So it is little different from how you write a letter. It is little different from how you write a letter. And that's why there are two different formats. You cannot have one format for both of them. So the report writing format. There's a title section which includes the name of the author and the date of the report preparation. Then you need to have a summary. A summary is something which is a precise version or a short version of what the entire report is all about. sometimes when people don't want to read the whole report, they might read a summary. So summary should be all inclusive of the information, so that people remember and people can look to the summary and try and understand what the report is all about. Next, you have an introduction. Every report begins with an introduction where you uh, detail the information. Why does the report need to be written? It is actually an explanation of why did you write the report, or why are you writing this report. And usually in the introduction you also include the details of the arrangement of information in the report. Next, this is the main body part of the report. It is where the actual information of the report is recorded. The entire report is what we call as the main body part. Usually, while arranging information in the main body part of a report, information is arranged based on the priority in which work is required. Information is arranged based on the priority on which work is required. Remember, it will be arranged according to the priority. Okay, there is something called priority. Which work needs to be done first, or what kind of things need attention first. That's how you write things in a report based on priority. Next, the conclusion. The conclusion is the very end of the report and is usually written when you have explained everything and there is nothing much left to be explained. In the conclusion part, you should never include anything new. Remember, we have been talking about it in different documents. When you are concluding anything, when you come to a conclusion, you don't introduce anything new. It actually means bringing everything to an end. Concluding would mean bringing things to an end. Recommendation. Now this is the most important part of a report. This is where improvisation comes to hand. This is actually where you do the actual work, right? For the entire report, this is the actual work that you do. Usually recommendations are written in order of priority. Things things that are needed to be done first are written first, and then you move ahead with it. Appendices. Now this is the place, or this is the part where you include all the technical information. This is where you include all the technical information which supports your conclusions, which supports whatever information you have been passing on in your entire report. Yes, we have one more reconnecting question. The first page of the report needs to have an introduction. Is the statement true or false? Excellent. The statement is true. Remember, you have to introduce every time anything happening or any information that you are using for or you are raising with respect to workplace scenario, you should first have a recommendation. You should first have an introduction, and then you can move ahead with things. Okay, so the statement is true. Now, what is your job? With this, we come to the end of it. Now, what I will try and do is, by today evening, you will receive an email from me which says that I have shared a Google folder with you. Remember to access this Google folder with the help of your institute email ID and not your personal ID. It will not work in case of a personal ID. That's the kind of arrangement which I have made. Please note down this question. You will find a report file or folder has already been uploaded, and you are supposed to write a report on this given question. Take a photograph of that report and submit it to me in that Google folder. Okay, I hope you know how to use a Google folder. A yes and no can help me. Do you know how to use sharing of Google folders and uploading information? So if you don't know, please say no so that I can help you with it. Yes, you know, right? Have we already shared a Google folder with you, or in my case, it is remaining? Have you received any email from me? If you, I have shared it, right? At the same folder, you will find in the same folder you will find a subfolder which is called a report. You will have a sample report, and you are supposed to write this report because see, in this examination they have not mentioned the email which I send. Kindly see your mobile by default will take your personal email ID. Make sure that you are logged in with your institute email ID, and do not worry if I have not shared it. I'll share it once again today. Here, if you see the question, this is the question that has been asked in the winter 2019 exam in November 2019. Remember, this was a new syllabus that was introduced last year only. So we do not have much question papers to refer to. So we'll be referring to this one question paper that we have. So in this examination, you can see that they have not mentioned which format to use. Now, in case when they do not mention which format to use, you may use either the memo format or the letter format, either of it. The document that I upload, please look at the document carefully, because in the same document, first you will have a letter format example, and then you will have a first you will have a letter format example, and then you will have a memo format example as well. Remember to scroll the entire document. Just don't look at the first page or second page. It is a long document, so look into it carefully. Now here, because it is not mentioned which format to use, it means you are given freedom to use either of the format. Okay, you have to use either of the format. Plus make sure, but if you are using letter format, the entire thing should be in letter formation. If you are using memo format, the entire thing should be in memo formation. Just make sure that you don't mix the two formats. Just make sure that you don't mix the two formats. Right? If you are using the letter format, the whole thing should be in letter format. If you are using the memo format, the entire report should be in memo format. Right? Don't mix the two formats. Please be careful about that part of mixing two formats. Don't do that. Okay, so please note down this question. If you wish to have a screenshot or something, kindly have. I'm putting it up here for a few minutes so that you can note down the question. Note down the question. You are supposed to write a report for the following question. You're supposed to answer that following question. Right, so I'm keeping the screen as it is for a few minutes. Either take a screenshot or note down the question. I hope you have noted the question. A yes and no could help the teacher. Have you noted the question? Okay. So now I don't think, do we have any doubts? With this, report writing comes to an end. We don't have any doubts, right? So we don't have any doubts. So we'll move on to our ritual of the quiz. So I'll share the link of the quiz for this session with you. So there you go. You have the link for the quiz. You can attempt your quiz now. Excellent work. I see everybody has completed the quiz. Now, if you see the shared folder which I have shared with you, you'll also find a tab called report writing. That is where you have to upload your reports. Okay. I hope I'm making myself clear. Now, let me take the attendance for the day. 18 series 12 attendance. 19 series 1. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll just tell you the present numbers that I have marked so it's easier for you to understand. So, according to what I see in my participant list, I have marked the presence. That's 18 series 1 is present, 19 series 1, 18 series 12 is present, 19 series 1 is present, 19 series 5 is present, 19 series 6, 9, 11, 12, 13, 19, 23 and 24. These are the people who are present. Am I missing anybody? No. Okay. Are these friends who are absent in our class? Please inform them as well about the report writing that we are doing. Okay, please inform them about the report writing session.